the Kuiper Belt, a field of icy debris beyond the orbit of Neptune, can be understood if the solar system possesses an additional ninth planet.
There may be a huge planet that is so far away, we're having trouble finding it. For telescopes to find it, they have to know exactly where to look. Caltech is trying to show them where to look. Now, there are camera towers all along the border, but they have problems finding people unless they know where to look. There is a new design of border camera towers that uses radar to tell the cameras where to look. 8 of the new camera towers are now under construction in and near the Coronado National Forest. We are going to look at 3 of these cameras, beginning with one we call T1. Camera T1 sits in the parking lot of a scenic overview at the Montezuma Pass. Much of what it looks at to the west is covered by an oak forest. There are also deep washes carved out by monsoon rains. Perimeter radar of the type used to guide the cameras is often challenged by foliage. Recent developments in perimeter radar may offer solutions. Let's look at camera towers further down the mountain, closer to the forest and foliage. Camera Tower T2 is in the forest, 800 feet below Camera Tower T1. There is heavy foliage, a challenge for any radar. Here we are taking a drone's eye view of what this camera tower can see. This video was taken on April 2nd, before the actual tower cameras were installed. Here we're flying west just over the tower. We are approaching a wash about 500 feet from the tower. According to Google Earth, there is a 30-foot drop right into the wash. Based on elevations from Google Earth and an 80-foot tower, it is theoretically possible to see someone in the wash if the radar can penetrate the trees. But as we move south along the wash, away from this closest point, line of sight becomes problematic. And the wash runs all the way to Mexico. Tower site T3 is 3 miles to the west and 300 feet lower down the valley. This drone flight of April 2nd also shows that the cameras have yet to be installed on the towers. As we fly east, we see a berm. As we fly past it, we see a deep wash filled with oak trees. This is what the wash looks like from Google Earth. Here we are turning south, looking toward Mexico, and the other washes to the east of the principal wash shown here. Google Earth shows that the wash is 50 feet below the berm. And according to elevations from Google Earth, line of sight from the camera to the bottom of the wash would be impossible. As we move south toward Mexico along the wash, the line of sight becomes even more impossible. And the washes ahead run 30 to 45 feet deep. Reports say that Elbit, makers of the cameras, has technology to penetrate foliage. Is it good enough to see through this? these towers purchased on the basis of being able to penetrate the foliage of the type seen in the Coronado National Forest? Were these cameras ever tested in that environment? The camera towers are being constructed just north of where President Donald Trump has promised to build a wall. The Park Service issued the permit for the towers right after Donald Trump, the candidate who promised to build a border wall, was elected President of the United States. Actual construction started after the President's executive order said the wall would be impassable. We believe the evidence is sufficient to call for a congressional investigation into these camera towers.